myself up there. Okay, everyone can see me. We're also live on Substack. So quite excited about that. My new Substack viewers, hello, hello, hello. So on Definitely To Me today, we are basically now talking about Fashion Hot Tea episode. Can you believe that it's episode 17, guys? Woo-hoo. So today we're looking at the South African woman. Um, that's redefining sustainable luxury fashion. So I'm quite excited about that. Um, like I said, welcome back. And I know I'm on Substack. I'm also on, YouTube, Facebook, what have you. So to our new viewers on the other side, welcome, welcome. So, I just want to go back to it. In the meantime, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab whatever. I have just a cold, you know, cold, something on my end. Okay, so you all know we're on a mission to uncover the hottest fashion, African women designers before the rest of the world discovers them. Some of them have done, the work over the past few years, or few weeks rather. We've traveled across Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire. That was last week. So discovering some incredible hidden fashion gems. But today we're doing something a little bit more personal for me. We're heading to my hometown, South Africa. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited. So drum roll. So South Africa has, I know guys that, we've been in the news, but not for the best. I've had a video also about xenophobia and how it impacts me and my family. But today we're just gonna celebrate, the people that might not even be supporting this xenophobia that's going on in my country. South Africa has given the world amazing music, beautiful landscapes, and incredible food, and some of the most talented and creative people on the continent. And I mean, you've got Hugh Masekela, I can go on. Hugh Masekela, we've got Brenda Fassie, and then, of course, our icon Mandela. There's so many of their stories are still, flying under the radar. That's exactly why we're here. Our mission is simple, to celebrate Africa's hidden fashion gems, and introduce them to the world, one designer at a time, really. So, like I said, grab your tea, grab your coffee, whatever makes you comfortable. Because today we're getting serious about our South African inspired style, right? You know, um, I always think I'm just researching just another designer every week. Then I end up, discovering someone whose story completely surprises me every time. That's exactly what happened with today's story. You know, her name is Sindiso Khumalo. Sindiso Khumalo. Let's see if we have your pick. You are our lady of our queen of the week. So there she is. And as you can see, she's wearing one of her designs here. Sindiso Khumalo, if you've never heard of her name before, don't worry. Neither had many people outside the fashion world, and honestly myself as well. But once I started reading about her, I realized, she's been quietly making history. So here's what amazed me. Since Sindiso didn't even begin in fashion, she studied architect. And I was like blown away. And once you know that everything about her collections, they make sense. They are beautifully structured, balanced, thought through. Nothing feels random. But here's the part that really stayed with me. She doesn't begin with fabric, she begins with a story. Many of her collections are inspired by African women, obviously, whose stories and history we almost forgot. Women who were courageous, women who challenged the world around, you know, around, well, I guess everything really. Women who deserve to be remembered. Honestly, I just think that's one of the most beautiful things about her. Now here's where things get really interesting. In 2015 rather, Sindiso won Vogue Italia's Who's on the Next Dubai competition. That opened doors onto, the international fashion stage. Since then, her work has appeared in Vogue UK, Vogue Italia, Elle, Maria Claire. She showcased her collections at Milan Fashion Week, one of the biggest events in global fashion. So, and in 2020, she received the Green Carpet Fashion Award for Independent Designer and was also recognized a joint winner of the prestigious LVMH prize, one of the honors in luxury fashion. And if that wasn't impressive enough, she even collaborated with IKEA on its first African inspired collection and later worked with and other stories. So introducing her South African authenticity to customers around the world. As I was reading all of this, I found myself thinking, why don't we hear about her stories, these kind of stories often? Not surprising, right? But here's what I admire most. Despite all the international success, she never lost sight of who she is. Collections continue to celebrate Africa. Her prints celebrate African history. Her production supports, local artisans. And sustainability isn't something she, ordered because it became fashionable. She added rather because it's fashionable. It's part of who she is. It's a world full of fast fashion. She is creating clothing with meaning, pieces designed to be treasured, not thrown away after one season. So, personally, I think that's the future of fashion. There's something else I realized while making this episode. Success doesn't always come from trying to fit in. Sometimes it comes from embracing exactly what makes you different. So Cinderella didn't try to become the next Paris designer. She didn't try to imitate Milan. She remained proudly South African, and that's exactly what made the world pay attention. I think there's a lesson in that for all of us. So one of the reasons, and I meant to show you her one of her fashion. There you go. So, in conclusion, guys, one of the reasons I started Fashion Hot Tea is because I believe that, these women that we always showcase in the stories, um, you know, deserve bigger stage. Not because, they're African, but because they're exceptional. Every week, and it really reminds me of how African I am. And, Africa isn't just, following fashion trends, it's creating. It's really creating them quietly, confidently, and beautifully. I'd love to hear from you. Now that you heard Cindy's story, I have a question. Would you invest in a piece of clothing because of the story behind it? Or is fashion simply about, looking forward or looking good? Let's continue this conversation in comments. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with someone you love to, for them to discover these incredible fashion talents. As I was preparing this episode, I couldn't help thinking about what it means to be African, not just where we are from, but what we carry with us, our stories, our creativity, our resilience, our ability to turn history into hope. So today we celebrated South African women. Those work, their work reminds us that fashion can be more than something we wear. It can really honor those that who came before us. It can create opportunities for those around us, and it can inspire those who come after us. So, as an African, moments like these fill me with pride because every time one of our women steps onto the global stage without hiding or who she is, she reminds the world that Africa has never lacked talent. Sometimes all we've lacked in this is a spotlight. So, here's to the women who created the women who lead, the women who preserve our stories, and the women who remind us that our heritage is not something to leave behind. It's something to wear with pride. So, guys, I am Tumi. This is definitely Fashion Hot Tea. We're here to really, uh, show the world trends that come from Africa. And together we discover these trends, hidden fashion gems that remind us who we are. These remarkable women that we show one at a time on the show. So yeah, I will see you next Sunday, my people. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. If there's Super Bowl, if there's anything that just sipping, chilling with friends and family. I'm going to head back and see what's for lunch today. As always, I appreciate you. And Substack, welcome. I'll see you, my people. Take care. And when I leave you with, I think I have one of the, you know, uh, quotes from Thabo Mbeki. And he says, I am African, woven from stories, stitched with resilience, and inspired by a generation of women whose creativity continues to shape our future. So that's our ex president in South Africa. I appreciate you all again. Take care. See you next week. Bye.